A high-stakes call between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin is now sparking a major geopolitical shift. What began as a discussion on Ukraine is quickly turning into something else. A shared line, taking aim at Kyiv and its backers in Europe. And it's coming directly from Washington and Moscow.
I talked about a few different subjects, mostly about Ukraine, and we had a very good conversation. I think we're going to come up with a solution relatively quickly, I hope.
What does he want?
I think you'd like to see a solution, I can tell you, and that's good.
Trump pitched a little bit of a ceasefire, while Putin offered a Victory Day truce. Both sides framed it as progress, but without Ukraine involved. Instead, the focus quickly moved from peace to blame. A ceasefire narrative that opens the door to a broader political message.
I suggested a little bit of a ceasefire, and I think he might do that. He might announce something having to do with that. Did he announce it yet?
No, but I was wondering, I was just going to ask you.
No, I asked him about, even if it's a little ceasefire, there's so many people being killed, it's so ridiculous.
Trump actively supported the initiative, saying that this holiday marks our joint victory over Nazism in World War II.
Then came the direct attack on Volodymyr Zelenskyy and Kyiv. Putin accused Ukraine of prolonging the war and targeting civilians. Trump went further, declaring Ukraine is militarily defeated. Two leaders, one narrative, placing the burden of the war on Ukraine.
Well, we talked more about the war in Ukraine, but he would like to be of help. I said, before you help me, I want to end your war. So we had a good talk. I've known him a long time. I think he was ready to make a deal a while ago. I think some people made it difficult for him to make a deal, but we talked more about Ukraine.
But which war do you think ends first?
That's an interesting question. You know, coming from you, that's very interesting. Which war would end first? I don't know. Maybe they're on a similar timetable.
The attack didn't stop at Ukraine, it extended to Europe. The European Union was accused of pushing Kyiv to keep fighting. According to Moscow, this view is shared by both leaders. Europe, once central to the war effort, now being framed as part of the problem.
Both Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump have given broadly similar assessments of the behavior of the Kyiv regime led by Zelenskyy, who is pursuing a policy of prolonging the conflict, encouraged by European countries and with their support.
Trump says a deal is close. Putin signals confidence from the battlefield. But beyond ceasefire talk, the real shift is in messaging, a joint narrative taking shape against Ukraine and against Europe, raising a critical question: is this diplomacy or a coordinated repositioning?